So a few things to touch on there. El Salvador, I actually think it is a very, very big deal. The reason being is we have the opportunity now in a lot of these countries that don't have great financial networks to actually just leapfrog the existing infrastructure. So we saw the same thing with cell phones being introduced into Africa. And so Africa, I think their landline penetration was, it was very low. Very few people had landlines because it was so expensive, and they just literally didn't have uh, the wires built everywhere. So it was very, very hard, and it made no sense to have a phone because not everybody else had a phone. Excuse me. And then you drop a cell phone somewhere, and anyone can use it anytime, and you can buy a crappy Android for $10 or $5 or whatever the case may be. And now everyone has cell phones in Africa. Not every single person, but the penetration is massive. And so then it makes sense to get a cell phone because everybody else has a cell phone. And one of the most interesting data points that got me really interested in Bitcoin early on was it was something like 50% of Kenyan GDP is conducted with the use of cell phone minutes. And so M-Pesa has massive penetration in Kenya. And so at that point, you see people trust cell phone minutes as money more than they do the government currency. And so that was so interesting to me because I'd never heard of it before. And I'm going, oh my God, yeah. So I have all these uh, rich white people in North America telling me Bitcoin can never be money because the government decides what money is, without realizing that there's an example on Earth today where 50% of a country's GDP is conducted with cell phone minutes being used as money. And so when you hear that, you think, okay, no, we actually do have the ability for something really, really big to happen in El Salvador because what you said is infrastructure moves very slowly there. And that's correct, but digital infrastructure can move infinitely quickly. And so digital infrastructure can be installed in days, weeks. Physical infrastructure takes months or years to be installed. And so we have the same thing that we can do with cell phones that happen in Africa and also that happen in Latin America. We can do the same thing with Bitcoin, just kind of airdrop uh, ready-made global borderless infrastructure for capital markets and for money as well instantaneously, and for essentially free, which is really, really cool. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I would still kind of call it an experiment in El Salvador. We have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm very, very optimistic on what it has the potential to do and what it has the potential to show others, saying, hey, when you give your citizens $5 of Bitcoin, $10 of Bitcoin, $100 of Bitcoin, and you give them access to interact with the people around them and also people in other countries, very importantly, other countries for little to no fees, watch what happens to the prosperity of your nation. And so I think we're seeing really, really cool things coming out of El Salvador with that leapfrogging aspect.